27-year-old Shakiva Dixon and 36-year-old Maurice Langston were found dead. Police are investigating the case as a murder-suicide.
Her name actually means gentle, precious one. Gentle, precious, beautiful one.
Shakiva Dixon was a mother to 3 daughters.
It's just a soft light in our lives, constantly encouraging, being positive.
That light snuffed out. Her cousin, Sharina Steeple, tells me Dixon had been on the phone with her mother just 20 minutes before the shooting.
To my knowledge, he busted into her home and shot her. And shot himself. And both of her children were there.
36-year-old Maurice Langston was also found dead in the apartment. Police scanner traffic shows damage to the apartment.
Hey, just an FYI, this apartment has been forced in, child crying. I mean, we're kind of concerned that there's somebody hurt inside.
The selective spotlight, Black women, intimate partner violence, and the silence of the media. When a case like the murder of Ashley Janae surfaces, it can dominate headlines, podcasts, and algorithmic feeds. It stimulates the need to keep Black women stuck in Black communities because of the so-called dangerous non-Black man plotting to kill them. While these stories do happen, they are rarer than Black men getting killed through their relationship or contact with white women. And most of all, Black women being unalived by Black men. So in the same time frame of Ashley Janae's murder, Black women across the United States were killed by their intimate partners of the same race, with little sustained national attention. This contrast creates a dangerous illusion that certain victims are interracial tragedies, while other crimes that are intraracial are routine, expected, and therefore unworthy of prolonged public grief. The statistical reality is that Black women face one of the highest risks of homicide in America, especially from men they know. In 2022, 763 Black women were killed by men in single-victim incidents. Black women made up 32.7% of female homicide victims, despite being only about 14% of the female population. 87.8% knew their Black killer, and about half were killed by a husband, boyfriend, or ex-partner. Black women are 2 to 3 times more likely to be killed by Black men than white women. In intimate partner homicide data, Black women are vastly overrepresented, accounting for 30% of victims. Even more striking, the homicide rate for Black women reached 11.6 per 100,000, compared to about 3 per 100,000 for white women. This is not a marginal difference. It is structural. Contrary to popular crime narratives, the majority of women are killed not by strangers, but by intimate partners. For Black women, this pattern is even stronger. They are far more likely to be killed by someone they know than a stranger. Recent examples around the same time of Ashley Janae's murder. Tammy McCullum, North Carolina. On April 6, 2026, Tammy McCullum, a well-known local pastor in Charlotte, was shot and killed during what police described as a domestic dispute. Her husband was arrested at the scene and has been charged with first-degree murder. Shakiva Dixon, North Carolina. In early February 2026, 27-year-old Shakiva Dixon was found dead alongside her 36-year-old husband in an apparent murder-suicide in Durham. Police reports indicate the couple's 2 daughters were present in the apartment at the time of the shooting. Devonta Curtis, Illinois. On April 5, 2026, 31-year-old trans woman Devonta Curtis was found beaten to death in her Chicago apartment. Her on-again, off-again boyfriend, DeAndre Bell, was arrested and charged after investigators found evidence of premeditation, including search history on how to commit the crime. LaQuanta Edwards was killed in 2025. A man was indicted in 2026 after evidence tied him to the crime. Cases like this appear briefly in local news, then disappear. So while this platform has to agree that Ashley's public stance of controversially calling herself a divester has put her in front of the Black, mostly male social media firing squad, that good old blame the victim rhetoric, some of the most recent white-on-black crimes were committed by white women on Black men. The agenda in social media, especially Black social media, is to keep Black women stuck as sitting ducks in a community that does not offer protection or infrastructure. Black women must create that for themselves, so they don't erroneously pick up the same type of man from another race. We will discuss trauma memory and other original and trademarked, life-changing tools only on our Patreon platform. If you are ready to do real work and not lip service to live the life of your dreams, let's get to work on Patreon. Get those tools before we close our platform. There is a story the media knows how to tell very well. A woman goes missing. Her face is everywhere. Her name travels across timelines, across networks, across dinner tables. The country watches, waits, mourns. And for a moment, it feels like the entire world has stopped to care. But at the very same time, another woman dies, and no one says her name. While one case becomes a documentary, a podcast, a national obsession, hundreds of other women, Black women, are killed quietly. No rolling coverage, no long-form analysis, no follow-up interviews with grieving families. Just a headline, a few paragraphs, and then silence. This is not about one woman receiving attention. It is about the thousands who do not. In 2022 alone, more than 700 Black women were killed by men in single-victim incidents in the United States. They accounted for nearly 1/3 of all female homicide victims, despite being a much smaller percentage of the population. Black women are killed at rates 2 to 3 times higher than white women. These are not small disparities. These are structural realities. And the most unsettling part is not just how many, but how. In the overwhelming majority of cases, the woman knew the man who would take her life. Not a stranger lurking in the shadows, not a faceless threat hiding in the dark, but someone familiar, someone trusted, a boyfriend, a husband, an ex-partner. Nearly 9 out of 10 Black women killed by men knew their killer. We have been taught to fear the unknown, the stranger, the unpredictable danger that might appear out of nowhere. But the truth is far more intimate and far more uncomfortable. For women across all races, the greatest risk is not the unknown, it is proximity. It is closeness. It is the relationships that sit closest to the heart. And yet, when this reality plays out in the lives of Black women, it rarely becomes a national conversation. Why? Why does one story travel while another disappears? Because media does not simply reflect reality, it selects it.
Fifth influencer Ashley Robinson, who goes by Ashley Janae on social media, was celebrating her 31st birthday in Zanzibar, Tanzania. She was on the vacation with her boyfriend of 1 year, who popped the question just 2 days before. On April 8th, she says Ashley called, saying she and her fiance got into an argument and were moved to separate rooms. The next day, she received another call, this time from her fiance.
He told me that Ashley did something to herself and that she was being taken to the hospital. I said, what happened when? And he told me it had been 11 hours prior.
Hours later, the luxury hotel the couple was staying at called saying Ashley passed away. According to the hospital's medical report, Ashley had an unidentified mark around her neck. They wrote, quote, according to the husband, he found she hanged herself on the door with several question marks.
Stories that feel rare, unusual, or shocking are elevated. They are repeated, analyzed, dramatized. They are given time to breathe in the public consciousness. But stories that feel familiar, stories that happen too often, are treated differently. They are compressed, minimized, moved along. And somewhere along the way, the deaths of Black women became familiar. Not because they are less tragic, not because they matter less, but because they happen with such frequency that they no longer disrupt the narrative. They fit into it. There is a statistic that is often brought into this conversation, usually as a deflection, that most Black women who are killed by Black men. And on the surface, this is true. But it is also incomplete, because across every racial group in America, people are most likely to be harmed by those within their own communities, by those they date, by those they marry, by those they live with. This is not unique to Black communities. It is a reflection of proximity. Most Black women are partnered with Black men. Therefore, statistically, most violence will occur within that pairing. The same pattern holds true across other racial groups. So the question is not simply who is harming whom. The deeper question is, why is the risk so high, and why is the response so low? Why are so many Black women navigating relationships without adequate protection, without sufficient resources, without systems that intervene before it is too late? Why are warning signs so often ignored? Why do some disappearances mobilize entire national search efforts, while others barely extend beyond local news cycles? Why do some families receive microphones and others receive silence? There are layers to this: economic stress, housing instability, historical neglect, unequal access to legal protection, the presence of firearms in domestic disputes, the normalization of struggle, the expectation that Black women will endure. And that expectation may be one of the most dangerous factors of all, because when endurance is assumed, intervention is delayed. When strength is expected, vulnerability is overlooked. When survival becomes identity, suffering becomes invisible. And so the cycle continues. A woman raises concerns. It is not taken seriously. A pattern of behavior emerges. It is minimized. A threat is made. It is dismissed. And then, one day, she is gone, and the world moves on. But it should not, because this is not a series of isolated incidents. It is a pattern that is measurable, visible, and yet still under-acknowledged in the broader cultural conversation. This is not about diminishing the tragedy of any one case. Every life lost deserves attention, dignity, and remembrance.
Diaspora to elevate every aspect of their lives. Our mission is simple yet powerful: to help you build lasting wealth, embrace vibrant health, and live your best upscale lifestyle. Whether you're looking to level up your finances, make healthier choices, or simply enjoy the finer things in life, you found the right place. Here at Transmuted Living, we dive into practical tips, inspiring stories, and actionable strategies tailored specifically for you. We believe that when Black women rise, we all rise. And we're here to support you every step of the way. So, if you're ready to transform your life and join a community of like-minded women, hit that subscribe button and let's start this journey together. Remember, your best life is not just a dream, it's a plan in action. Let's make it happen.